Hey, this is Jonathan, and I just had a really weird experience with sticky keys. I have it disabled, but for some reason when I tried to record last time, after setting up my hotkeys for OBS, sticky keys enabled, and Shift was, well, it was acting like Shift was being held, like, indefinitely. And I was getting some really weird behavior, like, apparently Shift clicking on a tab actually just closes it. Shift clicking on Chrome opens a bunch of new Chromes. I have a whole bunch of extra ones here now. Also, I looked up how to multi-cursor again because I forgot. But yeah, that was just so crazy, and it was not something that I expected. I don't even know how I activated it. I don't think it was my hotkey because I tried it again just a second ago and it didn't do anything crazy like that this time. I also turned off toggle keys. I'm not sure what that is, but if that's related to why sticky keys suddenly turned on, then yeah, that might be the reason why it turned on. Just really weird. But anyway, I was able to turn it back off just by mashing shift a bunch of times, so everything seems to be fine again. And I can't reproduce. Yeah, I cannot reproduce that issue. I cannot make it start again. So anyway, that's that was that. It was really weird, but yeah, we'll just pretend that never happened. And we're gonna probably continue working on this. So yeah, I accidentally closed the RON file that I wanted to, mess with because I want to add more buttons. So this is the seated game button. That's going to be like the typical option, I think. People would typically want to just play a seated game. Okay, maybe that's not true. Maybe people just want to play a random seed. In which case, it's fine. If you don't have to like go into the seated game menu and click on the generate seed button or whatever. I mean, if you do that, then you'd be able to like share it with other people. I still haven't done the necessary research to figure out how seeds are represented in other games like Crypto the Necrodancer. I still need to do that. It's on my to-do list. It's just very low priority. So yeah, I'm right. I can multi-cursor this if I remember correctly. It was oh yeah, double tap control and then yeah, just go up. And there we go. So we'll just call this one a start game button. That's probably not the best description. I should probably say like random seed. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how all this is going to be organized. But these buttons should not be in the same place. So because my window is 500 by 500, what I'm thinking is maybe I should take like a third of that. Yeah, that might make sense, because we know where half is, but a third of the space? Well, do I want to lay out the buttons horizontally, or do I want to lay them out vertically? I think I want to lay them out vertically, because most menus kind of lay out their options vertically, and then maybe the title's at the top. So perhaps what I should do instead is shift all the buttons down. Actually, you know what? Where this button is perfect, because the title can go on the top. And then the first one can appear halfway in the screen, then the next one can appear a little bit below that, and then the next one can appear the same amount below that. So the height is 64, which means that it's probably best to shift at least 64 pixels. Well, is that true? Because remember, we're centered on the button. So it's 32 pixels down to the edge of one button. And then we want a gap of some amount. So it should be like 32 plus, I don't know, maybe 20 pixels? 52? So let's add 52 to this. Or, well, I guess subtract if you want to get technical about this. And to do that, I would just do a little bit of mental math. Probably, yeah, 52 to that should be 3 minus 302. We'll go the same width, same height, same tab order for whatever reason. I don't know why. Yeah, the anchor will be the top left, and yeah, call that one start game, and we'll add yet another button, and this one will be called refer to the diagram. A back button? Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Right, so there's a start game here that goes straight here, there's a seated game menu that goes here, and then there's a start game that goes here. Are there other options I want to have here? I guess an options menu would be kind of interesting, right? Yeah, we should have an options menu to let you choose, like, what kind of game you want to make? Or what kind of seed? In that case, I'm not really sure that having a seeded game state really makes all that much sense. This could be like a standard just jump in kind of option. This could be more like a custom game. I think that makes more sense. I think that might make more sense. In the custom game menu, you would be able to choose certain things like, I don't know, is this an entrance randomizer? Is this an enemizer? I hate enemizer, by the way, but is this an enemizer? We'll let you get the seed. I guess I could allow it to, yeah, give some extra options, like choose a map to play on. Yeah, that seems kind of cool. I like that option. Custom game. If I were to like make this a more like full-fledged game, I'd probably add another edge going out to some other node that says, hey, go to the multiplayer game state, and I'm not 100% sure how that would work, but I think like there'd be like a main server. The server would set the rules, so whoever runs the server is setting the rules for the game, and people would be able to just join. So yeah, I think that would make the most sense. I should jot down these ideas before I completely forget them. Yeah. Wow. Chair, please stop creaking. I mean, I guess it's partially my fault that I'm moving around enough for it to creak, but yeah. Multiplayer server chooses rule set. Players just join. So these are some very like far off, distant future type goals. If I ever, expand the game to include that kind of stuff. So that's how multiplayer might work. What else? What else? We could do a custom game. Select map items, seed. What else? I guess rules? Oh yeah, and the rando type. Well, randomizer types can kind of compose, sort of. Like you can stack entrance randomizer on enemizer, so we'll do that. Yeah. So you'll be able to like stack different randomizer types if you want, if applicable. There'll be rules, maybe? I'm not really sure what kind of rules would be set here. Maybe like time limits, like you have, I don't know, 50. Well, actually, yeah, it could be like a 50-minute limit before the game like calculates like who's ahead or whatever. Well, this isn't multiplayer, so I guess that doesn't really make sense. But you know, it could be something like that. It could be. What else was I thinking? I had an idea. I just forgot it right now. It sucks. I hate when I forget stuff like that. What do I think of when I think of rules aside from like time? Goals. Right. So yeah, there's like, because sometimes people want to do things like bingo races. I'm not really sure how that would be implemented in here because obviously bingo race goals can be kind of arbitrary. I'm not sure if I'd allow people to like do custom goals somehow or something else. That's something I'm considering. What else? Right, there's like usually Crystal's goal or like defeat Ganon in ALTTP anyway. The Triforce Hunt. So yeah, there's different ways of setting things up. And of course, you can also enable things like one-hit KO. Although maybe that would be under like rando type. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to really say. Like what we should separate randomizer settings. So that would be, I guess, rando types. Yeah, sure. Let's call it rando settings. So that would be like stacking randomizers. That only affects randomizers. This could affect things like OHKO. Or like retro mode. Well, I wouldn't have a retro mode because, you know, it wouldn't really make sense in the context of Mini-rando. There is no like retro game to base off of. But like, in general, this is kind of the idea I'm going for right here. And now to not look at this document ever again and completely forget everything that I did. Because that's what I do. But yeah, I think this is fine. These will take us to two different states. Which is cool, I guess. I think when I go to the actual game state, I'm gonna do a push, or not a push, I'm gonna do a switch. Which doesn't really make sense, I think. I should have been switching between menus here then, because if I don't switch, what might happen is I never deallocate the original stack frame. If I go to like a seeded game and then go to play, unless play like pops off all the other states at once. I'm not sure about multiple pops though, so maybe I actually should be doing a switch instead of a push. I don't know, I'm gonna have to play with this and try and figure out what works best. But for now, this is what I'm gonna work with. Yeah. So this is our main menu UI. I need a new state. Also, seeded is probably not the best name. We're gonna call it custom. custom game. Does that make sense? Well, then it kind of sounds like customizer. I don't want it to sound like customizer. Customizer is something completely different. That's like what you use for making plandos. I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this. I could incorporate the customizer in that menu somehow. You know, that wouldn't be the worst idea ever, but it might be a little bit hidden if I put it there. I'm not a UX expert, so I have no idea if this is a good or bad idea. I definitely want to support customizer though, because customizers are kind of fun if you would do plandos. Oh, this is such a hard decision. I'm gonna roll with what I have right now and just say forget it. Customizer might have its own menu someday, but for now, custom game is going to refer to just setting the rules and the randomizer types that you want on your game. In fact, I don't know. You know what? It's probably better to do it this way than to get rid of the start game button, because start game is just for starting off like a standard game. I think it makes more sense. Because some people just want to jump right into things. They don't want to like play around with settings and whatnot. Anyway, that's my reasoning. I don't know if that's very good reasoning, but it's my reasoning for how I want to do this. So there we go. But no, like what we could do is have a customizer that allows you to put items in different locations. Like you can actually set them instead of using a seed. That's mostly what customizer is for. I guess you could do the weird thing with like that crystal clear plando, or the one where they're like no like empty objects that you could pick them up but they didn't do anything, they didn't give you anything. But again, like if you did that, that would be that is just like putting items in different locations. It's just that you can like dupe items and put multiple items in multiple locations and turn off I guess validation, like can you get to every location, that kind of thing. I think what I should do, yeah, is add like a fill item locations menu. And that could be like its own separate state from custom game button. So customizer would be kind of built into this. And I think that would actually make a lot of sense. Because why should customizer be like completely separate? There's a lot of bells and whistles in the Z3 Rando. So I'll have to take a look at those and see how they design their UI and what they've done, and try and decide what do I want to keep, what do I want to throw away, what do I want to like rearrange or change, that kind of thing. That's probably a good idea. I forgot when I started recording. Whoops. I'll guess around like 9:40. I don't see that. What was nice about the Camtasia one is I could just like look at a little clock that was going and I would know. Here I don't really get a good sense of when I started, so I need to keep a better eye on that. Anyway, I made this custom game state, so that means I should rename this to custom, which kind of sucks because I'm gonna have to do like a refactor. Yeah. I know there's at least one other place where it's being used, and it should be here. Okay, so it did do the refactor properly. I did replace that as well. Whoa. It's a big menu. Alright, there we go. It was able to do that. Refactor, and that's pretty good. Because I just did that refactor, let's just run this again, because I want to be sure. You know, you can never be too sure if you accidentally broke something when using automated refactoring. At least in my opinion. If you're super duper careful about it, I guess, then you can probably at least fairly accurately predict what's going to happen. But I'm not that good, so I'm just going to rerun. It seems like it builds at the very least. Oh, jeez. I didn't shift it down enough. My math was off. Maybe it does actually use like the top left. So maybe instead of whatever it was, 64 or like 52, I should have shifted it down even more. So maybe 64 plus 20 for like 84. Do you think that makes more sense? I think that might make more sense. So this was 52, I want to say? Yeah, that was 52. So if I wanted to go 64 instead, plus 20 for 84, this would be 4. So because this was 50, I just need to add 3 to that. So there we go, that should work. That should look a little bit nicer. So we're going to have custom games, and we're going to have regular start games. Games. And we need a new state for that. We need to have a play state, I guess. Yeah, I could call it the play state, or that just makes sense to me, honestly. Let's just do that. I've always called these the play state, and it's what makes sense to me. It's where all the gameplay happens. Right? No, like you're out on the menus, you're actually playing the game. This is where all the gameplay is. So the name to me has always kind of stuck. I guess you could do the example-y thing and call it like Pong or whatever your game is called, but I don't really like that. I've decided I don't really like that. I'm gonna watch as all the game developers come out of the woodworks and scream at me and go, "You should call it Mini-rando because that's the name of your game. This is a game. This is where you should call it." Whatever. I don't care. I'm doing what I feel like I want to do. So let's just copy this. Oh no, I'm copying my own code. What a terrible person I am. We're gonna call this we're just gonna call this play. We're gonna impl simple state for it as usual. So when would you not use simple states, I wonder? Like, how complex do you need to get before you abandon simple states? So that's a good question, I think, for someone to answer who isn't me. But I probably won't get an answer ever, so alright, let's just do that. I'm trying to be very careful about, have I done anything silly here? Let's make this print play to be sure that we're in the play state. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm so sneezy suddenly. I feel like that's also affecting my voice. Like, I don't know, it feels like it's gotten like deeper or something. I don't know. It's weird. I'm confused. What was I doing? I made a new state. Why did I make a new state? Because we might want to have our button point us to that state instead. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, there's a big old gap here I don't really care about. Oh yes, here we go. Oh, what does this do? Oh, this gets the storage. And then it gets the target. And if the ID matches the other ID... Oh, okay. Huh. That's funny. I just realized that if I just call this method over and over again, it's going to be really slow. Because I'm going to have to fetch the storage every time, then I have to do this, and... Huh. So that's not really good. What should I do? This logic could probably be changed in some way. Yeah, because if it is this button ID, then I want to transition to with the state that I passed in. But if it's a different ID, then I might want to transition to a different state, right? So in reality, what I should be doing is having like a list of button IDs, and then we'll go through all the button IDs with different transitions for each of them. That smells a lot like either a map or like a function, or it smells like a mapping of some kind, right? Because we want to have like a collection of all these different IDs, but each one of them goes to a different, causes a different transition. So what I think we should do here is probably use like a hash map. That seems to make sense to me. Well, either a hash map or a function that just does like a pattern match. And to me it doesn't really make a difference. So let's just go with a function. I think a function is a little bit lighter weight. Yeah, I like that idea. So we have get trans for ID. Okay. Oops, what did I just do? Come on. Oh no, what's going on? Oh, my keyboard's doing weird things again. Hello? I can't curly brace anymore. Again, what? I can't figure out my bloody... Oh jeez. Stop. Stop. Oh no, really? Why does this keep happening? It's so weird. I know when I close... oh, yeah. Huh, what is causing this? Or I get... I don't even know what that is. It's like a... Is this Morse? Am I typing in Morse code or something? What is going on? That's when I hit double curly brace. Oh jeez. Yeah, that's an open curly brace and a closing curly brace. You know what? I don't understand anymore. I think I've accidentally changed like a language setting on my keyboard, and now everything's screwed up. Anyway, I got completely distracted because stupid things. Such as my keyboard. We want to take a button ID. At least I can still type colons. And we're going to do a match. You know, I've gotten so... Oh, yeah, don't do that. Right. Whoa, wait. Look at this down here. Add bin op, assign bin op, comp bin op, mul bin op, rel comp bin op. Expected. Got... Whoa. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's this error. What am I doing? I thought that this was telling me about what I had like pressed on my keyboard to cause this weird behavior. No, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. Oh, whoa! What is going on? That is not a greater than sign. What in the hell's blazes? I don't know what I've done. Alright. This is how we do things now. I need to figure out why that happens and learn how to avoid that. Alright, so you return a simple trans. Yes. Okay. And we're matching the button ID against some hard-coded button IDs, I guess, because this is specific to this method. To this state. I could actually put this stuff in a trait and import that for main menu. You know, that would make a lot of sense. I should do that. I will do that after this. So for this one, we're gonna use, oh god, I can't type quotation marks properly anymore. I know how to type them. It just doesn't work the way that I would expect. So whatever keyboard settings I have, I've done something a bit goofy with it. Seated game button. At least I can still type underscores. Oh, seated game button. Sorry, no, now we don't want seated game button. We want custom game button, because that's the new ID, right? At least I should have said it that. Yeah, custom game button. And so now that will return this transition, or at least I think it will for now, until I decide to change my mind. And this one will do a bit of play game button. Oh no, start game button. This one will map to... Oh, yeesh. That's... I don't like that. Whatever I've done, I don't like it. I should switch, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure about that push above. So I want curly braces, but I can't make them. Play. There we go. That should work, right? Yeah. think so. What are you complaining about? Okay, good. So now it's done complaining. We also need to do a this. So if it doesn't match any of them, oh, please. Please. Just let me do the things I want to do. It's so much to ask. Keyboard. Will it return a trans? None. So yeah, now we'll just do self.get trans for ID, and then we'll give it the button ID. Uh-oh. Is it .id? I think so, yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a string, not a... Ah, that's heap allocated. Interesting. Wait, does it really make a difference? I can take a string reference, can't I? From an owned string, I can convert into a borrowed string. Should be easy enough. Isn't there a... wait, no, that does work, I think. Yeah, that does work. So this button ID is now useless. I think. Yep, we don't use that anymore. That's gone, trans is gone. I'm not sure why we have these lifetimes now. I don't think I need them. Do I? Well, maybe I do. I'll leave them in just in case. Yeah, this should be fine. I don't see any problems with this immediately. Yeah, I can get rid of this and this, and then I can just pass in that. And that's a lot more compact. Look at that. You can even put this all in one line. It's that compact. Yeah, and there we go. Now we have a bunch of logic here just for handling all the different buttons we might press. Let's give that a try. Just to be sure that I haven't screwed anything up. Unresolved import. Play. Ah, that's right. I don't have a pub mod play yet. Well, now I do. And we have a bunch of warnings as usual. It's fine. So this should allow us to switch to a completely different state. So if I hit start game, now we're in the play state, and I can't click custom game anymore. I can't click any of these buttons because we're technically in a different state entirely. So if I try running it again and I click custom game, it'll say hi. Yep, and then we're stuck again. Cool. So that works, and I'm pretty happy with that. That's definitely the way that I wanted it to go. So now we're going to try and refactor this stuff. We're going to try and make a trait for all this. Because I want to have the same functionality for the play state. And possibly even for the end state. For when you complete a game, you might want to click like a button that allows you to like next, or maybe a button that allows you to view, or how many items you picked up in total, like statistics, and like how many monsters you've killed, how much time it took you to beat the seed. Although that stuff might just be shown up front. Maybe I would have like a general like summary, and then there'll be like a detailed view if you want to look at that. And that'll be a button. But anyway, like, this is like a super easy choice to make. We just want to do essentially this for every state that it might be applicable to. So we're gonna make a button trans trait, I think. I think that makes sense. I don't know where I would define it. Maybe this is a place where you would define stuff in mod. Or maybe I would put in a different module entirely. I like the idea of putting a different module entirely, at least for now. Yeah, let's make a pub mod button trans, and this one I'll just have a trait. What? Oh crap, yeah, that's right, I can't type those characters. Cool. I'm gonna figure out what's wrong at some point soon. Like very soon. Alright, so we've got that now, and what else do I want to do? I want to copy what I have here and put it in there. Yeah, I want to transplant this logic into that. Well, I only want to transplant this and the lower one's signature. World is not defined, is it? Of course not. It's okay. It's fine. We can do this. And now everything exists. Well, it would if I could do this, get this guy in there. Oof. What button did I click to make that happen? Okay, that's the apostrophe. So if I want lifetimes, I can't do that. Well, I guess I can copy the apostrophe from here, but oy vey, that is not the way to go, I'm sure. Yeah, so we'll have button click trans. Let's make this a public trait, I guess. Button click trans. And that seems fine. And yeah, this can be defined by whoever. And that should be okay. Actually. Yeah. Let's do that. I like that. So we're going to impl button trans for main menu. Suddenly, everything just got a lot more compact. Button trans is not recognized. Of course, it wouldn't be. Alright. Go. Do it. Recognize it. Recognize it. There we go. Will that run? Sure looks like it will. Oh yeah, look at that. See, I am getting the hang of traits. Slowly but surely, I think. Oops. Wrong. I clicked the wrong thing. Don't click OBS. Click this. Yeah, that works. And yeah, I can't do anything else. If I try running it again. Oh, there we go. Just wait for a moment for it to realize that I'm trying to do that. That says hi. Cool. Perfect. That's everything that I wanted from this trait. So yeah, now we have a trait just for handling clicking on a button to transition to some state. Very nice. So I can do that for main menu. I can do that for play. I could do it if I really wanted to. I don't know what I'd do it. I don't know if I would use it in play, actually. I guess I would probably want a UI for when I'm playing the actual game, so you can like... Well, would I want it to be visible on the screen as a thing that you can click, though? Not really. No? Because that would get in the way of, like, when you're shooting and aiming at enemies. I don't like that idea. That kind of sucks. I hate it when games do that. Yeah, I won't do that. Why would I do something that I hate, right? Like, no, that's just silly. We won't do that. But we will do it for our custom game, for sure. And the custom game, well, we'll decide what to do with that later. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this. This works really well. Now I have to implement the one method. The other one's already got default implementation, so I don't have to worry about that. And yeah, this just looks pretty nice. I kind of just want to stop there, but I feel like I should probably keep going. Well, first of all, we need to get rid of the unused imports here. There's a lot of them. Where'd they all go? I don't know. But I don't see them in here, so... Huh. Isn't there usually another... Oh yeah, terminal. Wait, no, not terminal. Huh. But I can open a terminal. To do? Oh, hey! You can actually find all your to-dos. Not that anyone ever uses this. Not that anyone ever goes back for their to-dos and, like, actual real software. That's why to-dos are kind of bad. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna put a to-do here, only for me to never do it. Surely that'll go over well. Yeah, I don't see any of the details that I had before about what where the warnings are, so that kind of sucks. But I do need simple trans from Prelude. I do need entity. I don't need system or right. Yeah, I can ignore those. I think? Yeah, I can ignore those. Do I need Shrev, reader ID? Not really. I don't need any of this stuff either. Oh, except for UI transform. I do need UI transform. I guess world is part of Prelude then, huh? Oh, what am I doing? Stop. I can't control Z! Oh, wait, I can. Never mind, it's just a little bit slow. I was scared. I was like, oh no! These terrible shortcuts that I've discovered that changed my keyboard settings have prevented me from using undo. But it looks like we're okay. That should reduce some of the warnings, at least. Yeah. I do believe that will reduce some of the warnings. I do kind of want to clean up those warnings right now as well. I won't do it just yet. But it is very tempting, I will say. Alright, so... Custom game is next. Custom game will need its own RON file. It'll need to be defined similarly to main menu. Yeah, these two are very similar states, so I might as well just do them both now. There's not going to be any actual gameplay happening in them, so it's fine. I will have to implement button trans for that guy. I will want to implement handle event for sure. But I first want to do this. This is important. Also, I might want to do a progress bar. If I do a progress bar for the assets, though, I'm gonna have to actually handle it properly and like wait until it finishes loading before allowing the user to do stuff. Which should be fine because they have examples of it already. But it's not something that I'm considering a priority right now, considering how fast the RON files are loaded. Like, they're kind of tiny. But yeah, it's definitely something that I should do eventually. File, yeah. We're gonna call it custom game. Not wrong. Again, I'll handle all the Git stuff off screen when I feel like it. And custom game.ron should be defined somewhat similarly to this guy, yeah. I still don't know what this attribute is for, but it's obviously some kind of wait, was it outer attribute or inner? I think it's an inner attribute. Inner attributes apply to everything in here. Outer attributes, or am I mixing? I might be mixing that up. An outer attribute appears on the outside, right? It doesn't have the exclamation mark, and it applies to the thing inside of the body of the thing following it. Whereas an inner attribute appears inside of the thing and applies to everything within it. That was my understanding of inner and outer attributes, and I do believe this is an inner attribute. If I'm wrong, then so be it. Yeah, we're just gonna go with this. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like eating dim sum. Complete tangent, but I don't know. That's, for some reason, that's kind of what I feel like right now. Weird feeling. So we're gonna have a back button. That's for sure. We're gonna have a back button. There's gonna be so many buttons. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like the most button-filled thing in the world. I guess before we start adding all sorts of crazy rules and other things, we should have a game first, like with actual gameplay, because otherwise this is all kind of useless. Yeah, let's do that first before we actually really get into anything crazy here. And also, we don't have enough algorithms. we don't have the algorithms for like an entrance randomizer or an animizer or whatnot. I mean, animizer should be pretty easy, I think. It depends, I guess, on the type of animizer you use. But as far as I know, most animizers just swap species with different species. So all of the Goombas become Koopas. But maybe you could have a setting where like every individual enemy is randomized to a completely different enemy. So maybe one Goomba becomes a Koopa, one Goomba becomes a Blooper, one Goomba becomes a Bullet Bill. Wouldn't that be crazy? I mean, I'm sure there are animizers that work that way as well. So yeah, just another setting for the future to think about if I ever decide to add animizers. I'm not a huge fan of animizers. I've already stated this before. I don't think they're particularly fun, but some people like them, so to each their own. It's not like I won't support something just because I don't find it fun. If other people find it fun, then it's like, you know, it's good to have. It's good to give more options rather than less options, unless you have so many options that you can't really read what the heck's happening anymore on your screen. In which case, you probably need to change the way that your UI operates. Now that's a problem for future me. I don't care about that at all. At least not right now. So I kind of want this button to appear at sort of like the bottom left. If that makes sense. I think that would probably be best. And we'll have another start game button, of course. That'll appear somewhere. We're gonna have like a generate seed button as well, which will just create a random seed. So we do need a third button here. I'll create that somewhere out there. I don't know why it keeps doing this. It's annoying, but there we go. Easy fix. I don't know if that's the best way of handling that kind of problem, but hey, I like the multi-cursor. It works for me. I got used to a lot of IntelliJ hotkeys and shortcuts in the past, and I actually quite liked it. Eventually, you kind of your pinky reaching for the control key kind of hurt. I guess that's what they mean when they say like Emacs pinky, but it was still pretty good. I enjoyed it. I guess I could have tried Vim key bindings instead, but I don't know. You can get by just fine with the IntelliJ hotkeys. I find it's not bad. It's different. It's not like Vim, but you can add Vim key bindings if you want. I know that's an option. Anyway, tangents aside, let's try to put buttons in places that look good and use math, but do it right. I don't really know how far off the edge of the screen I want this to be. Maybe like 32 pixels. 32 pixels is fine. 40. If I go 40, then I want to go 40 off the bottom edge as well, I think. No, wait, I want to go higher than that. But yeah, actually. Yeah, if I only go 40, remember that it's anchored at like the top left, I think. So, oh no, but then that's the center of the button. The X and Y position indicate where the center of the button is going to be. So 40 is not going to cut it. 40 and then half the width, but the width is 128, so I have to do math. And half of 128, well, that's 2 to the power of 6, right? Because this is like 2 to the power of 7. Half of that is 2 to the power of 6. And 2 to the power of 5 is 32, I believe, so yeah, 64 is what that would be. So 64 is half the width of the button. I need to add 64 to 40. And I get 104. Yeah. Mental math! I actually did it for once. I rarely ever do mental math. Usually just pull up a calculator because I'm a dumb lazy butt. But hey, I did mental math today. I am proud. Well, I guess it wasn't really... Well, I didn't do it silently. I did it out loud, but still. And the height, half the height is 32. The bottom border is at minus 500. So I want to add at least 32 to that. So what's 500 minus 32? 500 minus 32 is... I don't know. Actually, let's take 500 minus 40 first, because we want to go up 40, right? So if we want to go up 40, we could take 500 minus 40 is 360, and 360 minus 32 is... oh geez. 16 minus 32, come on. You can do this. Me. Why am I encouraging myself to do simple arithmetic? I don't know. Because I can't do arithmetic good without a calculator. Help! So this becomes a 5, and this becomes a 10, and 10 minus 2 is 8, and 5 minus 3 is 2. I figured it out. I did the math. My math is always right. There's no way that math is wrong. I'm gonna have faith in that. I'm gonna have so much faith that you know what? Let's wait. I have 2 back buttons now. I can't have that. This has to be called generate seed button. This will say generate seed. Yeah. That's what it does. Yep, seems good to me. we'll do a button trans thing. Oh man, this is gonna be so nice. Just being able to impl button trans for this. I like that. There are some cool things that I can do, and that makes me really happy. And I already forgot which one it was. This one. No wait, no, that's the RON file for that one. It's this one. This one's gonna do the same thing as this one. So I move them together. We're just gonna implement this the same way. And instead of main menu UI, we're gonna use custom game UI. Look how nice this all is. It just works out super well. I feel like I sound like those people in those talk shows where they like cook food and then they like screw up but they don't acknowledge it, and then they put it in the oven and then they take out like an already finished product out of another oven and go like, wow, look how great this is. Yeah, what a great dish. It's amazing. So it's like casually ignore all the mistakes we made with the dummy product that we stuffed in an oven to never be cooked ever for real. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they do cook those things, but you know, like the waiting compared to just pulling out the finished product is, you know, it's a thing. So yeah, I can just do the self.button click trans, give the world, give the target, and you know, away we go, right? Like, come on, that's so awesome. That's so cool. I love it. It just works. I keep going to the RON files thinking those are the actual implementations, but no, it's not. It's absolutely not. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. I'm very happy with this. Generate seed button will not do any kind of transition. Oh, hello. What are you complaining about? Because I have to do that. And button trans doesn't exist here. I have to use super button trans. There we go. I'll have seeded game button, I think is what I called it. Wait, no. I call it generate seed. Well, generate seed is not going to do anything specifically here. It's not going to change the state. It will do a thing, it's just not related to this. You know what I just realized would be better? Passing in the storage instead. Because I'm going to use that same storage to try and get the whatever button. Yeah. I should have just passed in the storage. Oh well, I'll do it later. When I realize that this is a terrible idea in the future. I already forgot what I was trying to do. Right, instead of seeded game, it was like generate, no, not generate seed, it was, well, the start game button will be the same. Also, I also want play, don't I? I can't type these cool little curly things that I want to type. It's making me sad. I want to type them, but it won't let me. Oh yeah, the back button. Yeah, back button. Back button brings us back to the main menu. So we'll have a main menu. Main menu. And there we go. Now we can go to the main menu here, and we can go to the play here. And there we go. That should do it. That will do it, I think. Look how easy that was. Super easy. Mega easy. Easier than easy easy. In the heezy. Okay, no. Ah, I exploded. What? Panic unwind. What did I do? What did I do wrong? But what did I do? What did I do? Oh no. This is a pretty big prefab asset. Custom game UI. Oh, I forgot the UI. Whoops. That was kind of dumb. Keep your naming consistent, kids, because you might regret it later if you're being silly. Let me guess, did it call it custom game UI? I hope not. Where was it being loaded? Here. Nope, it didn't. Cool. I should terminate that somehow. Yeah. Run it again, this time with feeling. Hey, look at that. That totally did not appear where I thought it would. My math might have been a little bit off. Just a little bit. I was kind of hoping it'd appear a little bit more down here, but you know what? We can deal with that. We'll figure it out next time. Anyway, yeah, this is good progress. I know it looks really ugly, but we're gonna get rid of these buttons, the old buttons from the previous state, when I, properly implement all this. So there we go. I'm very happy with this progress today, and we'll pick it up from here next time.